Hey, how you doing? This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show, and this is a video I did many years ago on my MFJ 31-foot vertical antenna, which is right now my best antenna. And I was outside yesterday. It was a beautiful day down here in Florida, and I happened to look over at this antenna. And this vine, which is all along the fence here, was curled around this antenna, and it probably went, well, as far as I could, beyond what I could reach. So it's probably 12 feet up in the air from this level right here. And it just started going up, and it does this periodically, and it climbs up this pole here, and I've since put another J pole here. They were up there, so I apparently haven't been watching them, and they kind of took off. And of course, these vines could affect reception. Probably won't, because this is the wire for the antenna is covered. It's not bare wire. And I had an incident about a year ago where the vines got onto the connection right here and actually pulled out the connection. So I had no connection to the antenna at all. Well, needless to say, I need to do a little better maintenance on my antennas. I probably have 15 antennas outside set up that need to be watched. And so I thought, well, I'm going to go on the internet and see if I can find some hints or anything about maintaining basically wire antennas. Most of my antennas are wire antennas. And, a lot of us know things we should do, but we forget. So I found this website this morning. It's called Radio Works. And apparently the gentleman that ran this used to sell antennas. But in 2018, he retired. But he still has a bunch of great articles on antennas. And they're the type of things that most of the information will be good forever. So down here under Jim's notes, or Jim's notebook, I will put a link to this website down in the description of this video. He's got all these articles. And when I did a search, I found this one right here, wire antenna life, how long should they last? So let's go there. And he's got an extensive article about antennas and types of antennas and how they work and stuff like that. Once again, he used to sell antennas, doesn't anymore. And then down here is what I was looking for, yearly wire antenna maintenance. So here's some things that he should do. And like I say, most of these are obvious, but you tend to forget. So let's just go through these quickly. Support ropes. You need to check that the ropes that you put at the end of the antennas to string them up are not going bad or failing or about to fail or everything. So he suggested you check that. Also look for, and this is a problem I have, look for squirrels, where squirrels have chewed the support wires because they're usually like cloth or Dacron or something like that. And they like to chew on that stuff. And then he says, this is something I didn't think about, compare the support rope with a piece of the same rope that has not been out in the sun and weather to give you an indication how much it's deteriorated, and maybe it needs to be replaced. Okay, here's another thing that I've run into in isolators. I use those little, I don't know what you call them, donut or egg-shaped isolators, and they tend over time to lose their coating, plastic coating or whatever it is, and then the insulating part inside turns to powder and they break very easily and your antenna can fall on the ground. So he says wash off dirt, spider webs, and other accumulated junk and see if they are cracked. All right, that's a good idea. Wire. If the antenna is made out of copper-clad wire, is there any sign of rust? Are there broken strands, like it's going to fall down soon? Is the copper in good shape? And it says, pay careful attention to the end isolators and matching transformers and eye bolts. Solder connections. This is important, very important. Solder connections over the years, because of the weather, can deteriorate, and they may need to be resoldered, and you may want to weatherproof them by, he's saying, apply coax seal. I use rubber tape, liquid tape. That's what I use on my connections. It also says check balums and matching transformers. I've had transformers that were encapsulated in a plastic housing, crack, and then fill up with water. And that's what he's talking about right here, checking for water. The coax itself, check to see if the coax is in good shape, the connectors are in good shape, and you actually should do an antenna test to measure the SWR and power loss of the antenna. That can happen even if you're just using the antenna for receive. By doing this test, it'll give you an indication of the coax condition, because you can get a real high impedance due to some deterioration and think your radio is just not receiving. And then lastly, say give the whole antenna a good examination. That's the antenna itself. That's about it. Again, this website is radioworks.com, and he's got a lot of other articles. Let me go back for a second. Here's a whole bunch of other articles, most of which are still valid today. If you enjoyed this show, please give me a thumbs up, and thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.